Madam President, Mr. President, excuse me.
It's okay, Democrat leader.
Mr. President. Well, Mr. President, Donald Trump has tried to cover up for Jeffrey Epstein long enough. It's time that the Senate finish the job to finally compel the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files. A few hours ago, the House of Representatives passed their Epstein bill with as lopsided as a vote as you can get, 427 to 1. It's now the Senate's turn. In a few moments, I will ask unanimous consent for the Senate to pass the Epstein bill as soon as it comes over from the House. My unanimous consent request guarantees that the Senate will immediately pass the Epstein Files Transparency Act without any further action as soon as it comes over from the House. We will pass the House's bill without changes, without delay, and we will finally get this done. Epstein victim groups have made clear that they support this bill as written, without amendments. We should listen to them and pass this bill quickly. They've worked so hard and long to make this happen and deserve tremendous, tremendous credit that we have arrived at this moment. This isn't about Democrats versus Republicans or about Congress versus the President. This is about giving the American people the transparency they've been crying for. This is about holding accountable all the people in Jeffrey Epstein's circle who raped, groomed, targeted, and enabled the abuse of hundreds of girls for years and years. The American people have waited long enough. Jeffrey Epstein's victims have waited long enough. Let the truth come out. Let transparency reign. And I urge my Republican colleagues, let the Senate act today. And so, I ask unanimous consent that when the Senate receives H.R. 4405, the Epstein Files Transparency Act from the House, the Senate proceed to its immediate consideration, the bill be considered read 3 times and passed with no intervening action or debate, and the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Is there an objection? Without objection, so ordered.
The Senate has now passed the Epstein bill as soon as it comes over from the House. I yield the floor.
And as many of us who are looking at our phones know that the Senate has passed the bill under unanimous consent.
Great.
It was the women survivors who are here with us tonight who passed this bill because it was their bravery, it was their pain, and it was their light that shone through the darkness that passed this bill today.
And so I am thinking about so many women as I am here today. And most of all, I am thinking,
it's all right.
About Virginia Roberts-Giuffre. We would not be here without her. There is no doubt in my mind about that. And, I very much, I think, like many people, there were fights going on. There were definitely women that had, worked so hard for so long for justice, but I had, given up on the idea that anything would happen in this case. After the Sweetheart deal, I felt like everyone knew about Epstein. We would see things in tabloids about Epstein. This was not a secret, right? And when I first saw the photo of Virginia and Prince Andrew, I was at my job. I remember so clearly the moment that it popped up on my computer screen, and I just kind of was taken aback. And I just immediately knew the truth behind that photo, and I felt the bravery of this woman who was taking on the world with this story and was being met with such contempt and disrespect